When we have a person interested in booking the Capital Peddler, we ask a few questions just to see, what their needs are, like how many people and the ages, because we can only operate with 18-year-olds on this bike. It's an insurance issue. But other than that, it's wide open. So we've had groups from 20 years of age for the most part, up into 90 years of age, pedaling on the bike. They come for a variety of reasons: birthdays, milestone events in the family. Some just come for fun. Some are big bikers and they want to really try out another medium of biking in the group. So we try to find out what it is they're doing. When it's a bachelorette or a wedding or a birthday party, we often ask if they want to decorate, and sometimes they're pretty excited about putting their own decorations on. So we've looked like a tiki bar on occasion. We've looked like a wedding with wedding bells and flowers, and that's all part of the fun. So we want to make it their experience, what they're trying to do that particular couple of hours of their time. And some have had their own playlists. For example, the Sugar family had many songs with the name Sugar in the title, and it was a fun group. And so they make it theirs. It's more fun for them. It's a lot of fun for us, and we just want to make sure that we cover everything for them, as well as our own insurance waivers, when they need to come and get set up on the bike. Does the scheduling work for them? Do they know that there are hills involved in a couple of the routes, and how much biking that might take compared to Ride the Drive, which is pretty level?
Let's talk about the hills on this device, because we chatted a little bit about the fact that maybe Lodi, with all the hills up and around Lodi, Wisconsin, might not be the place you'd want to bring this. What's the grade? What % grade is? What do you check out?
I don't know that I can speak to a number. What has happened is it's been kind of a learning curve since we obtained the bike and did some practice runs, and now I look at roads and terrain a lot different than I ever did before, because I'm always looking at grade. Mm-hmm. So I don't exactly have a number for it, but I can recognize a hill that looks, and we'll say, that looks doable, and then there are some that we're like, nah, probably not, because we have the weight of the bike and then the weight of the people pedaling that we have to consider. But the real popular route that we do that is probably has the most challenging point is the State Street route, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of establishments and cafes and some people out and about. But as we all know, the Capitol sits at the top of the city, and to get up there we're going to have to go up a hill. So the most challenging part is the 100 block. I mean, the State Street is kind of gradual. You kind of go up for part of a block and then levels out and then up a little more. So that's very doable. When we get to the 100 block, there is a little bit more of a grade, so that becomes the more noticeable challenge. And then the final part is the 2 blocks, which are Carroll Street, when you first make that right turn from State Street onto the square. Those are the most challenging. It's definitely an uphill ride up until you get to that top peak, and we crest that at the Inn on the Park, and then it gets pretty level. And then, of course, what goes up must come down, and the fun part is then coming down the hill. But once we make that loop around the square and back down State Street, it's a free ride from there, like a roller coaster. So that's the most challenging hill that we've ever had people do. The other thing that we notice is there's kind of a trade-off. Long and gradually inclining, like State Street and the Capitol, can be a pretty good challenge, but we've never had anybody that couldn't do it. We've also done, for example, the steep hill at Regent onto Monroe, and it's got a pretty good incline, but it's short, so it's almost like that short burst, but kind of a killer, but then all of a sudden you're there. Isn't any worse than, and then sometimes even if it's a little steeper, it can be better because it's done sooner than the slow or the long increase. But the key is that everybody pedals together and we kind of find a cadence that's just kind of a slow grinding pedal with everybody contributing, and we get to the top.